Hello? 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 Hello, Gunjan? Hello? 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 Can you hear me?
Yes, Hemant, I can hear you.
What about Gunjan? Is he available or not? I mean, he's not responding. Hello, Gunjan? Are you there? Okay, anyways, let's get started. So, I told you that we will be discussing about several different data sources, how these data sources or databases are integrated into your SaaS system, and what are data libraries, how are they registered in the metadata, how are they assigned, how do you use libraries when you are when you are preparing a code or designing any application, and how do you register tables into those libraries. So have you gone through any material on data administration? Do you guys know what library is, what is the data source, and all that stuff?
Yeah, previously I had attended one session for the the programming part. So during that time, he was mentioning like what we need to write over the lib name and everything. Yeah, I'm little much aware of that stuff.
So you know what a library is actually? Why do we use a library?
To save all the data sets.
Okay.
I'm not sure of
That's
like too much.
correct.
I don't have
To
like too
an
much of
extent.
knowledge on
So,
that.
coming to the material which you have referred, so what have you guys referred regarding the data administration? Anything, any interesting topics which you came across yesterday when you were studying this?
No, like I didn't get too much of time because I was trying to install that stuff. Yesterday you have given, right?
Okay, did you download it?
Yeah, I did download, but during the installation, I couldn't do it. It was showing like system space is not sufficient and all that stuff.
I told you, right? You need space. So have you downloaded all the 24 parts?
No, I did download only the 22 parts, and from the 22 itself, I faced like lot of difficulty in that.
So do one thing, na. You take out those 22 parts. You have an external hard drive.
Yes.
Move that 22 parts into an external hard drive. Copy that and
Okay.
delete all this 22 stuff from your downloads and also from your trash.
Okay.
Delete that
Okay.
and download the next two parts.
Okay.
Move those also to the external hard drive,
Okay.
because your system is not going to support with 128 GB of hard disk with already some stuff already lying on your machine. You cannot do that.
Got it.
So move it to your external hard disk and connect that hard disk to a Windows machine,
Okay.
and put all these files in a folder, and in the first file extract here, do an extract here using WinRAR.
Got it. And I have one more question to ask. because right now I don't have my any Windows laptop with me, so I'm planning to get one. So do you have any recommendation, like what would be the best processor to get, like the i5 or i7, or does it support the i3? Do you have any idea on that?
No, you would need it must be a 64-bit machine. That's it.
Okay.
It must have a 64-bit OS, and that is the only thing. And it should have WinRAR.
Okay.
You just have to extract it. You are using that Windows machine only to extract that file.
No, no, my question was like, because already the Mac which I'm using right now,
Oh, you want to buy a new one?
that's what, because already I just have like 4.61 GB free in the Mac, whatever I'm using right now. So I don't think like I could delete all this stuff or store somewhere.
Okay, I mean, I don't use a Windows machine, so I don't know. Buy the latest one,
Because
whichever you
today's
can.
class it has taken late for me because I just went to the Costco to get a new laptop, but I'm not sure whether I need to buy the i5 or
Buy
i7.
the
Which
latest
processor
processor,
does it
right?
support? So I
If
thought
you're
like
buying
I
anyways,
could
buy the
ask you.
latest one, right?
Sorry?
If you're buying anyways, buy the latest specifications. If you don't have any budget restrictions and all, I think you can find some pretty good laptop in $500 $550, right?
Okay. Yeah, but when I have seen the i5 processor, that itself was like around 649.
No, 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 no. I don't think it's. Did you see something in Lenovo?
No, I didn't see in Lenovo because like what my husband was saying is like the Lenovo, he's not pretty much interested in that. So he told like, why not we shall move to the Dell or some HP Pavilion, something like that stuff.
See, as far as this is concerned, there are no system requirements. Any system would work. It has to be a 64-bit machine, and it should be good enough to handle the VM. That's it, because the software is running on your VM, right? So,
Yeah.
if it has a good RAM and all, it is easy for you to process. So,
Do you think the
get something
processor
which is.
also have any importance in this? I mean, does it have any significance on installing this software?
See, your VM is running in parallel, right? So when you open your VM, it should not stuck, and when you are working on your virtual machine on a different OS, it should not, it should not hamper your OS performance, right? Obviously, your RAM should be good, your processor should be good. So yeah, I mean, with good speed, it functions properly. Is what I meant.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
So you think that the i5 is insufficient?
yeah, that should be okay. I mean, Wi-Fi should be okay.
Okay, okay, that's fine.
Okay, so what I wanted to discuss is quickly today. Uh, so we discussed, right, what is a data tier and what is a server tier, what is a middle
How to
tier, and what
create
is
the
a client
users,
tier.
how to create the
So
group.
data tier contains all the enterprise data. It doesn't it is not just restricted to your SaaS data, but it can also contain your any of your third-party database also, be it Oracle, MySQL, Sybase, Teradata. Any database can be integrated into your system, and you can use those tables or whatever they are called in their in their technology. So when you have to use that particular third party database, you need to register that third party database into your database. Sorry, into your metadata. That means all the data source has to be defined in your metadata, so that when your client application, when you are making any request, you will get to know that this particular database is existing, and you can use that database, right?
Okay, okay.
So any user will not directly access data. Any user is I mean, in SaaS, you will access data only through libraries. So there is no direct exposure to data. All the data, whatever it is there, it is segregated and it is put in libraries. So it is important for you to create libraries, and again, this is also a library. If you want people to access that library, everything has to be registered in your metadata. So these libraries are also needs to be registered in the metadata. Once you create a library, register the library, and after that you import tables to that library. You understand what I'm telling?
Yeah, got it. First we need to create the library, then we need to import the data.
Yes, you have to import the data into the data tables into that library. Then now the library is created. Now using enterprise guide, it is a client application. You can assign those libraries and use those libraries in your code in your daily. So once you use that library, you can access all those tables.
So I have one question. So the SaaS Enterprise Guide, the developers work on that, right? It's not for the administrators.
No, admin do a little stuff on that, importing and exporting, but most of the work is done by the developers. Developers use enterprise guide.
So the importing work also it should be done by the administrators.
Sorry.
The importing of the data also needs to be done by the administrators.
The libraries, yeah, you will get information about these are the libraries, these are the tables. Please create the tables and register those tables in the metadata. You will have to create the library based on the specification. What I meant by importing and exporting is the export and import is regarding the backup. What you do, the content backup, you have to take backups whenever there is a request, right? So you export the data and import it. So that we will discuss in the next class. What is backup and restore? So that's simply to put it in that way.
Okay.
So there are two steps basically. You have to register a DBMS server, whatever the DBMS server is already set up. Okay. And also you have to create a DBMS library and register that DBMS library. So these are the two steps one needs to know. So again, so I'll just share my screen. Let me know once you are able to see that screen. You see my screen. Is it visible?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a SaaS management console, and I have logged into through the SaaS unrestricted user, which means it has access to everything. This is the admin account. Only admin should log into SaaS management console, and this account should be only used to log on to your management console, not onto your client applications. So this is used for all the activities. So first step, what I said is you need to register your database server, right? DBMS server. You need to know which server you want to connect to, which server you want to register. For example, there is an Microsoft Access database already registered, already present on this system. So you need to know what system. The database server has to be already present on this system, and you are trying to register that into your metadata, right? So what you have to do is go create a new server, right? And let me just increase the
Screen resolution, yes.
okay. So this is your server manager. This is where you will manage all the servers. Your metadata SaaS meta server. It's registered here. Your SaaS app server. What is your SaaS app server? It contains all the servers which process your data, like your workspace server, your pooled workspace server, your overlap server, all the servers which process your client requests.
So you mean like a part of metadata server, all the other servers serve the applications, right?
Yeah, all the other servers. There are other servers also which I am also not aware of. They are used for connections, some other middle tier. They do some middle tier stuff, but these are the applications which are only application specific. That means your client application send requests to these particular servers to process any request.
Got it. Yeah.
So these are all part of your SaaS app.
Got it.
Okay, so this is your application server. When somebody says application server, that means it is a group of your workspace server, pool workspace server, stored process server, and all those. Okay.
So does the object spanner comes under this or no? It's not, right?
No, object spawner is not a server. It is a process. It is again an additional process on top of your workspace server.
Okay, so it gets the authentication from the metadata server, then it sends the code to the workspace server, right, to execute.
Yes, once you send a request, it will object spawner will check for the authentication in the metadata. After the authentication is passed, then it will
Yes,
allow the
the
workspace
workspace.
server to work on it.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
Right. So so let's go ahead and create a new server. Um, so in this case, what we'll create is we will create an ODBC server, because you should do some research on what an ODBC server is basically. So so what it does is, whenever there is a database already on your machine, you have to install these drivers so that you can access them. Okay, that database is suppose Microsoft Access or Microsoft SQL or any of the stuff on Oracle server. You need to have this ODBC server to access that. These are the drivers. So you need to select this database server. You are connecting that Microsoft Access through ODBC.
Okay.
Okay, so use this ODBC server and give any name for your server. What will you give? Demo DB server. Okay, DB server for practice. Next, major version number, minor version number, you can ignore. I mean, you don't have to put anything. But for the data source type, it is not. It is a ODBC driver. Okay, but what is a database? You need to select Microsoft Access, because you have only Microsoft Access on your machine installed. If you have Oracle, if you have MySQL, you can select MySQL also.
Got it.
And what is associated machine? Every server. Where are we registering the server? We are registering the server in the metadata.
Okay.
Right? So our metadata server's name is SAS edu.
Okay.
Okay? So this is the metadata server.
Okay.
Now, how do you want to connect? You are now allowing a connection between the metadata server and the ODBC. So you can either give a connection string, or you can give the data source name. So what is the data source name? What is the data source name of the Microsoft Access database you have? So I found it out from here, administrative tools, data sources, ODBC. So here this is a Microsoft Access database. I'll try to configure. So I found the name here. So this is the name. This is the MS Access database is the DSN. Sorry, data source name. So I'll just put that. You'll have to put that in quotations, because we have spaces here. MS Access database. So in this case, this is the data source name. In your work environment, they will give you a data source name. Okay. So don't worry about that.
Can you
And
repeat once again if you don't mind?
here we are using the data source MS Access database, because that is a data source which is already installed.
Okay.
In your work environment, you will be given all the details.
Okay.
See, this is the data source name, this is a user ID password, this is the authentication domain. So you'll get all the details beforehand.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So don't worry about those things. Just follow the process. What is the process to register? So this is the default authentication which we are using, which is already created at the time of installation. So you just click next. So this will give you all the following server will be created. What is the server name? What is the version? What is the ODBC? What is the data source type? What is the associated machine? And your connection, user ID, password. What is your authentication domain? Default data source name is MS Access database. This is important, and this is important. Okay.
Okay.
Now you go ahead and create it. Now you have created your demo DB server.
Okay. So in the real time, the name also it would be given, right? We need not put anything on our interest.
Thing will be given. No, you should not. You will have all the details when you have a team meeting. You will discuss. You will know what the data source is, how to connect it. I mean, all the things will be discussed. Nobody will ask you all this, but it is for your understanding. Maybe if sometimes they tell, like, if there is a new database, what is the process? So you'll have to tell them that you have to first register the data source and all.
Okay.
You need to have and one more important thing I forgot to tell you. For any database, if you want to access any third-party database in your SAS machine, you need to have SAS access. So what is SaaS access? Read about SaaS access. SaaS access lets you to connect to third-party databases. Okay. So
So
that
then what is the significance of this ODBCs then?
ODBC is from the database point of view.
Okay.
SaaS access is from the SaaS point of view.
So you mean to say in order to connect we need both, right?
Yes, we need both.
Okay. SaaS access and okay. So can you show what is the SaaS access? Is it any specific thing?
I am not able to see SaaS access here, but usually in other usually it should, when you are creating the SaaS access, it should prompt you for the SaaS access. I think SaaS access is not installed here, but if you read about that in your data administration guide, it will clearly say that you need SaaS access. So all the demo is not exactly as you do in the work environment. This is just to get an idea, because this is not an ideal proper setup. Okay.
So you mean to say like, so here in order to connect from, I mean to get the data from the third party, we use the ODBC, right?
Yes.
So in the same way for the SaaS access also, so do we need to do any specific procedure is there?
No, SaaS access is a you should, I mean, if you have gone through the database administration guide, you would know what a SaaS access all means. I'll just show you what a SaaS access is. See, SaaS access to ODBC, SQL Server authentication. To set up an ODBC source, select menu, go to control panel, so and so, so and so, so and so. Accessing a They are out-of-the-box solutions that provide enterprise data access and integrate between SaaS and third-party. SaaS Access interface enables your SaaS platform to read, write, and update data no matter what native databases or platforms you use. So SaaS Access, once you install SaaS Access, it is an interface. So that's what it is being said here. It will allow you to, so you'll have, SaaS access to data sources, to relation database. You'll have, once you have, if you have to connect to SaaS Hadoop, you will have to have this interface available, SaaS access interface to Hadoop. Only then you will be able to connect to Hadoop. So any database, you have to, if you go through this, SaaS access interface provides data access to more of your data sources so you can make better decisions. They are out of the box solutions that provide enterprise data access and integration between SaaS and third party database. SaaS access interface enables your SaaS solutions to read, write, and data no matter what platforms. Because the data appears native to SaaS, there is no need to learn SQL or any database. By integrating all available data sources across your enterprise, SaaS supports your minimum risk balance. So this is basically a product. It is a SaaS product which provides an interface to your third-party database. That's what I told you. I mean, you need, in here we just registered using ODBC, but in the real time you will have, when you click here, you will see SaaS access also. SaaS access to so and so, SaaS access to so and so, SaaS access to so and so. Okay. You should use that only to connect, and then you will find the ODBC drivers also. You should select that also. So that's how you register a server. I'll be right back. Okay, in a minute. Okay, so that's why I said like even if I don't know, I should be able to know it from you guys. So it will be better. So if you guys also read all the stuff before the session, so it will be easy for you to understand. So one second. Huh? So this is how you register a server, and then library. So how do you create a library? Go to, this is data library manager. You will have libraries already here. So you will create a new library. So what is this library again? This is a ODBC library. Okay, because we have an ODBC engine, right? So we will create a ODBC library only. So the next one, give the name of the library. Demo DB library. So the location can be shared data. You can put whatever, but we let it be the shared data only. The next one is, this is important. So you want to associate this library to which server. So I told you that all the process, e.g. process, enterprise guide, OLAP server, whatever, like OLAP Cube Studio or Data Integration Studio, they use which server to process the request? Hello?
So can you repeat the question once again?
All the all the enterprise guide, if you are running a code or you're using OLAP Cube Studio or a stored process, where do this process go? Like who will execute this process?
I mean, all these gets done from the metadata server, right?
No, they'll process in the application server, right? All the workspace server, pool workspace server, they are all present in the application server. So your library also has to be associated with your application server, so that when you are trying to write a code, these libraries are available. In the metadata server, all the metadata information will be present.
Okay, so the metadata is just for only storing the data, right?
Storing the metadata, not the data.
Okay,
The
okay,
difference between data and metadata.
okay.
If you talk about a table with all the rows and columns, all the data, so that is data. If you are only storing the metadata about the table, that means it will store only the information about the table. That means it stores only, this is the table, these are the columns, these are the rows. It will not store the values in the table. Okay?
Okay.
Libref name. So this is again important. Libref name is any shortcut name which you can give to this library. That means you can give demo DB. So you can use this libref name in any of the code and access this library. Okay.
Okay.
Next, you can use database server is already present. Microsoft Access Database Server. The connection is Microsoft Access Database Server connection. Next, so it will give you the summary information about everything. DemoDB library, share data, SAS app server, DemoDB, what is the engine, ODBC engine, and database server. So you can just go create a library. So once this library is created, what is the next thing? We will have to import the tables into this library, right? Register the tables into this library. So how do we register libraries, tables into the library? It's simple. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You just go register tables. I think the application server is down. TestDB. Okay, okay. So I got it. So what you have to do is, now all these things what we have done is on the metadata server, right? So
Yes.
we have defined the database server on the metadata, and we have defined the library in the application server. right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So any admin, I mean this unrestricted user will have admin privileges. I mean will be able to edit anything in the metadata server. Most importantly,
Okay.
this database DB library, where have we associated? We have associated with the application server, right?
Okay.
So in order to register tables, we need to log in with task. We have to log in with different credentials. I'll show you what the credentials are. So SAS demo one is a credential which has access to all the activities except the metadata. So any registering of the tables from a developer point of view, or you have to do any activities. This is the ID with which you log into your enterprise guide, data integration studio and all. So we need to use this ID to register tables. So use this SAS demo. Go to data libraries, test DB library. Oh, demo DB library, right, which we have created. Demo DB register tables. Okay, so this is another error which we'll get. You are able to see the launch of the server process failed due to site validation problem. So every time you see a site validation problem anywhere, that means the license is out of date. That means the product license has expired. So you need to renew the license. For renewing the license, what we do usually at an organization level is we will request for a software depot. In the software depot, we will request for the new license file. So we will pay for that and we'll get that SID file. We call it SID file from the SAS support team. So that license could be for EG, for management console, for the whole SAS software. So once we get that SAS license, we will apply that license to the product. So then this won't come. But here in our machine, we cannot buy the license, right? So what we'll do is we will have to change the date in the calendar. So my license expires on May 2013. So I'll just put somewhere around Jan 14 and I'll just click OK. And what I'll do is I'll start the services again. So most importantly, application server, if you're having any problem to connect to application server, you should start your object spawner and your SAS app. So now see what, so now we will be able to, now these are the tables which are already present. So you can select a table. So the following tables will be created in the folder shared. Errors occurred during execution. Do you want to view SAS log? Yes. A table name is called already registered with a specific object folder and cannot be added again. The table will be skipped. End of registration. Okay. That means there is a library in which the table has already been defined. So what we'll do is, again I'm getting a site validation. So what happens is your date, it will not stay like that. I mean, once you change the date, it will again get back to your 2000 your actual date. So you'll have to keep changing that, especially when you are working with your application server. In the metadata server, it stays fine, but I don't know why the application server every time it creates a problem. So this is the table. So this table has been registered in this library, and this library has been registered has been put to your application server. Now what you can do is you can see the libref name, lib name. So this says like lib name demo db odbc data source dift. So you can use this statement and access these tables from your enterprise guide. So this is how, when somebody asks like how do you what is the process to access tables, you should say that you have to create library, register the library, and all that stuff. Not sure if we will able to see those libraries from here. This is your enterprise guide, your SaaS app. Again, see demo DB library. Can you see here?
Yeah.
So when you see the library here in the white mark, that means it is unassigned. So the library has been created, the tables have been defined, but it is not assigned. So it is not ready to use. If you want to use it, you will have to assign this library. So now this is assigned. Now you can use this library the same way you use your work library, SAS help, SAS user. You use it right in the programming. You can use this library and put like you can just use this table there. So this is from the enterprise guide. You able to see?
I can see that.
So that's more about the data sources, tables, and libraries. Tomorrow I'll let you know what we'll discuss. Probably we will discuss about backup and restore. I'll just have to find out what we will metadata management probably. I'll let you know. Okay.
Okay.
So please go through those go through the data administration guide and let me know if you have any doubts.
Sure.
Okay. So I think yeah, that's it for today. Thank you.
Thank you.